Hi, hello everyone. I wanted to make a quick training, keep it super short and sweet, over something called IPAs. Monday through Friday, we do a 6 p.m. training Central Time over basically kind of like an accountability thing for our IPAs. IPAs are income producing activities. And so what that means, these are the things you do behind the scenes of your business. These are the things that you do outside of posting. These are how you make connections, and you keep those connections. And so network marketing is all about building relationships, and that's basically what these IPAs do. They help you build those relationships. They really help you build your brand and be present, and allow you to be not spammy, and promote yourself in a way that you can just really connect with other people and be you, who you are, and really build your business around that. So again, IPAs stand for income producing activities. These are the things you need to be doing every single day to run your business. I do mine 3 or 4 times a day. If you are pushing for a really big goal, you can do them more times throughout the day. If you are on a really tight schedule, these kind of outline what you need to do every single day so that you know exactly what you have to get done, so you can see growth in your business. They're tiny little things, but you guys, tiny baby steps are what lead to bigger things. It's kind of like a snowball. A snowball starts at the very, very top of a mountain or whatever it may be, and it begins to roll, and it accumulates more snow, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's your business. Every day that you do these IPAs is the compound effect. The results are going to get bigger and bigger. And so you skipping a day of these IPAs is like you not showing up to work. They're that important. They're so crucial to your business. So the things that I do to run my business outside of posting behind the scenes. Every morning I wake up and I do self-development. And what I mean by self-development, I do something that puts me in the right frame of mind. It puts me in a positive mindset, so that way, no matter what hits me right off the bat in the morning, you go outside and you have a flat, or someone broke into your car, heaven forbid, but those type of things that automatically you're can this day get any worse? But these are the things that put you in a positive state of mind, and so that when you are starting your day, you look at everything with a different perspective, just a more positive perspective. And another thing why self-development is so important is because we show up every single day on our news feeds, and we connect with other people, and we're pouring into other people. We're showing up as a positive resource, and we're showing up as a somebody who, encourages people to take bigger steps of faith in their life and believe in themselves. And so we're constantly pouring into other people all the time. But if we're not pouring into ourselves, you can't pour from an empty cup, basically is what it is. And so that self-development allows you to pour into yourself so we can pour into other people. I recommend, if you're new, things like the compound effect, how to win and influence friends. Ryan, please stop. Sorry, you guys. How to win and influence friends is really good. The circle maker is really good. Just connect with whoever got you started, and they can definitely make some really good suggestions. Hey, please stop and please go sit down. Sorry, y'all. Just connect with whoever that got you started, and they can definitely make some good suggestions, or reach out to me, or literally anybody on the team. Heck, you could even make a post in our team page, and I'm sure a lot of people could put out a lot of good things that they would recommend. So on top of your self-development, this is something that I personally do. I do gratitude. So what I mean by gratitude is I write down 10 things that I'm thankful for first thing in the morning. And literally this should take you nothing but a couple of minutes. It could literally be I'm grateful that I have throw pillows on my couch. I'm grateful there's food in the fridge. I'm grateful that I have ceiling fans in my house. I'm grateful for windows. I'm grateful for my alarm system. I'm grateful for the extra time I get to spend with my kids during this virus. It's tiny, tiny little things. It doesn't have to be I'm so grateful I have a roof over my head. I'm so grateful that I have a savings account. Yes, those are things that you're grateful for, but learn to be grateful for the small things too, because those add up. Small things add up. Little things are so important too. And if you can find gratitude in the small things too, it just makes your heart like in a better state. Like it makes you have a happy, healthy heart if you take care of yourself and you learn how to be grateful for everything around you, not just the giant things. And so I write down 10 things that I'm grateful for every single day, and I try and make them different things. But I mean, you guys, it literally could be anything. It could be like, I'm so grateful that I have the ability in the middle of the day just to run down the street and get popcorn. Because, you know, I used to be a teacher and I couldn't just leave school and go do stuff like that. And so I'm grateful for being able to do that now. And so it's just tiny little things. So first thing in the morning I wake up, I do self-development and I do my gratitude. Those are so important. Now, first thing on your list, like of actual like structural activities that you're going to do on social media. This would be on Facebook, because on Instagram, and obviously every single platform is different. My favorite is Instagram, but I know some people run their business on TikTok. Some people are super active on Snapchat. And so at the end of the day, this can obviously be molded to whatever platform that best serves you. But in particular, this one right here is a Facebook feature. So the first thing I like to do when I open up my phone, when I'm ready to, you know, kind of deal with the world, I wish everybody a happy birthday. And so typically when you log into Facebook, you should have a notification. You go to your notifications, and let me see if I can scroll back to this morning, and it should literally tell you, yeah, so see right here, hold on, this always happens every time I do a training, my brightness is too big. So right here, it says how many people's birthdays I have, okay? So I click on that, and when that pops up, give it just a second. I don't know why my Wi-Fi's been so slow, but when that pops up, it gives me the ability to wish everybody a happy birthday. And why that's so important is because, like, again, these are tiny little things, tiny different ways for you to make a connection. And honestly, when someone wishes somebody a happy birthday, it makes them feel special. And so whether or not maybe you're like one of 5 people to wish them a happy birthday, or you're one of 500, like every little thing counts. And so I do that every single morning. Now, a little trick I do, I like to put it on their story. And if you aren't familiar with the story, go to our team page, and I think the training is Stories 101 or Intro to Stories. I did a training. Stories are super important to running your business. But notice how it says view birthday story, view birthday story, view birthday story, view birthday story, whatever. Like if I click on this, oh, that's not mine. This is pretty much, okay, so this is the birthday story that I wrote on theirs. And so typically, like, I like writing on their, Ryan, please stop. I like writing on the birthday story because on stories, people can reply. And if they reply and say thank you, you're automatically in their messenger. And so what I mean by that, let me see for someone who said thank you this morning after I wished them a happy birthday. A lot of people will say thank you. So for instance, like this girl right here, she came back and after I wished her a happy birthday or whatever, she said, thanks so much and so welcome. And sometimes like I'll actually create like a conversation with them in Messenger. So it's just another way to plant a seed and get to know somebody. And it takes you directly to their inbox, like once they reply and say thank you. And so that's the whole thing. Your business should be built in Facebook Messenger. Your business, like, yes, posting is important because you connect with other people, but your business is built in Messenger, whether it's your DMs, your direct message in, if it's your DMs in Instagram, your inbox in Snapchat, or your messenger for Facebook Messenger, or for Facebook itself. Like, that is where your business should be built because you need to be connecting with people. Hey, I need you to go sit down, please. I see that. Thank you. Sorry, y'all. It has been interesting to be at home with my children all day and do everything at the same time and keep them occupied. So, Lord help me. But anyway, so that's important. So make sure on your list so far, you have self-development. Do like 20, 30 minutes of self-development in the morning. You can be doing it like laying down in bed. You can do it while you're putting on your makeup. You can listen to it on the way to work. There's podcasts, there's YouTube, there's books. I mean, there's Audible. There's literally everything. There's no excuse not to do self-development. Self-development, gratitude, wish everyone a happy birthday. Now, the next thing that's really important is get active on your stories right when you wake up and be active on your stories all day long. Again, if you need help with your stories, go to the stories training that I did in our team page. But what my stories look like, so again, like I like Instagram. I'm most active there. But these at the top, these are your story. Okay, and on Facebook, your story again is right here. You add to your story by this button right here, the little plus sign. You add to your story. And when you add to your story, so these are stories that I was talking and I put in my stories earlier. And so basically I added those. And I like your stories because it allows you, outside of a post, like when you read a post, you're like, oh, I love that post. I can relate to that. But your stories really allow you to connect with people if you know how to utilize them the right way. So what I mean by get active on your stories. So literally this is me in my stories the past day. I like food. And it's kind of like the behind the scenes of your life. My extensions. Now everybody on here knows I've had extensions. But literally these are my stories, and like kind of like your Facebook page and your Instagram, those are like that's like your magazine cover. That's like your highlight reel, but your stories allow people to get to know the real you. And I talk to people in my stories about my business all the time. Like I mention that I'm working. I mentioned that I'm doing business meetings. I mentioned that I'm doing trainings. I mentioned that I'm open to mentoring people if they need extra money. Like I say stuff like that all the time in my stories, and I feel like that connection and saying it, actually hearing it from me and seeing those words come out of my mouth in my story, that is 10 times more effective than putting up a post. I feel that way. I know on Instagram more people see your stories than they do your actual posts, and so in that instance it's 10 times more effective to really promote my business with me talking in my stories than it is just to make a post about it, which I mean, obviously I do both, but you know. So getting active in your stories, again, like I 10 out of 10 recommend going to watch the stories training, and I'm more than happy to help anybody with their stories anytime. It doesn't have to just be you talking. Just make sure you're active in your stories. It shows the behind the scenes of your life, and it shows people who you are. Again, people do business with people they like, they know, and they trust. Okay, if I post pictures, selfies and just put quotes all over them, or it's just pictures of my kids, like, yeah, you get to know the tiny little details about me, but if you could go into my stories and you could actually see the behind the scenes of my life, you would feel like you know me 10 times more. She acts so sweet. I can't. But you would actually feel like you know me so much better, because you get to watch my stories and you kind of get to see what goes on in my life. And my stories aren't photoshopped. It's what I look like in the real and the raw, like first thing when I wake up in the morning and that sort of thing. So get active on your stories. So self-development, gratitude, wish everyone a happy birthday, get active in your stories. Okay, next thing you need to do is add to your network. And again, these are things across Facebook and Instagram that you can do both. Adding to your network, I don't use Snapchat a lot, and I really don't know how you would add to your network on TikTok. I'm trying to use TikTok. I am 30, and so I'm not exactly, stop, please. I'm not exactly TikTok like user friendly for that right now, so I'm learning. But it's so important to add to your network every single day. Please don't skip this. This is super important because again, network marketing. You have to network. And what does that mean? You have to expand your network. You have to make new connections. And that's what adding to your network is. And so on Facebook, the way that I add on Facebook, I will go to somebody that I've been connected with for a while. So for instance, I see that. That's pretty. So for instance, let me find somebody on my feed real quick that I've been connected with for a while, that I have like a good connection with. So let's see. Okay, so this girl right here, We actually are from the same area, kind of, so we already have a lot of mutual friends. Let me pick a different one to make it a little bit easier. Somebody that I've connected with just to connect with. Okay, this girl right here. So I've been connected with this person right here for a while. She posts a lot of pictures. She's very active on Facebook, and we have like a constant line of communication. She comments on my stuff, I comment on her stuff. So what I would do is I would click one of her most recent photos. She's on vacation right now, which is super funny because like the world is like shutting down right now because of this virus. But I would click a picture that she recently posted, and I would go through the people who liked her picture, okay? And I'm never going to add people that I don't have mutual friends with. That's creepy. Stop, please. Facebook is more of like, you have to know people, I guess. Like, not really, but like Facebook is more like people question. They're like, why is this girl adding me? Whereas on Instagram, you can add someone right away and they're like, oh my God, I love your hair. Oh my gosh, where do you live? Instagram is so much more relaxed, and that's why I like it. Facebook, people are like, why is this girl adding me? They think it like about their husband's 10 different exes ago, and they're like, I wonder if this is one of them. Like, that's how intense people are on Facebook, and it's too much. But again, Facebook is, you have to use Facebook. It's important. So I'll scroll through, and I will click on somebody. So I only have one mutual friend with all those people. But I'll scroll through, and I'll see who likes their photos. And if I have several mutual friends with somebody, I'm going to click on their profile, and let's say, like, hypothetically, Brenda. I don't have mutual friends with Brenda, but let's say I had 10 mutual friends with her, and I scrolled through her page a little bit, and it seemed like she was positive. It seems like she has a good presence. She takes good pictures, and these are the things that I look for. Everybody's a little bit different, but if it's appealing, I will send her a friend request. I only send 5 or 10 per day on Facebook and 5 or 10 per day on Instagram. Now, another thing that you can do on like Facebook is you can add from your groups, but don't mass add. It does you no good to mass add from groups, because at the end of the day, like, you can't connect with people. Like, the whole point of adding people is so that you can connect with them. If you're adding hundreds of people a day, you can't connect with that many people. Like, that's wasted space, like in your friends' spots or whatever. Like, that does you no good. And so, if 5 or 10 people is too overwhelming for you, start with just a couple a day. Like, that's fine too. But it's important to grow your network. Now, Instagram is a different story. On Instagram, I also only add 5 or 10 a day, but it kind of depends if you're public or private. So, well, I guess you could do it if you're public too. And what I mean by public or private, on Instagram, if you are public, that means anybody can come to your page and see all your pictures. Like, I am public right now on Instagram, so anybody could come and see my stuff. If you're private, when somebody comes to my stuff, none of my pictures will be there, and this is all they see, okay? And so I like mine public because I can use hashtags. And hashtags basically, if you use certain hashtags that target your audience, now don't use... Okay, if you're using certain hashtags that target your audience, it puts you in like a pool of other people who are also using those hashtags, and you can connect with people in that pool. Now, here's the thing. You don't want to use hashtags that are super over commonly used. So, for instance, like hashtag Throwback Thursday. Millions of people use that every single day. And so people aren't going to really find you, and you aren't really going to find people. Like, so many people use that hashtag that's just post after post after post after post after post that's coming up. But, for instance, like, I use hashtag Moms of Houston, hashtag Houston Mom, hashtag Texas Mom, hashtag Texan, things like that are like roughly anywhere between like 15,000 people to like, 600,000-ish or whatever is usually a good number. And what I mean by that, so for instance, underneath my picture right here, my last post, I use hashtags, okay? And so let's click on Moms of Girls. So this is a hashtag that I commonly use, and look, it only has about 64,000 people using it. And so what I'll do is I'll go to recent. I'll click the recent, and oh my goodness. So that's crazy. Someone's like spamming this big time. Let me do a different one. That's annoying. So let's do Moms and Girls. Is that the one I was using? Oh. Sorry, y'all. Let me find one real quick. We'll just use Houston Moms. This is the one that we're going to use. Okay. So I click recent at the top. These are people who have recently used the hashtag. And I go to this, and this is where I add people from. So one, because they're from Houston, and I'd like to connect with people locally also. And two, they're moms, so we already have things in common. And three, they're using hashtags, and so I don't have to train them a lot because they like literally already understand the concept of like using a hashtag. But it puts them in this landing page. And so anytime that I post, I also will use this hashtag, and I will go on the landing page. Now understand this, if you are not public, you're not going to be on the landing page. Like, you can't use hashtags if your account is private, but you can still search them. And so what I do is I'll go to someone's page. If I'm adding them on Instagram, I'll go to someone's page, and I will like a few of their photos, recent photos and photos from like way long ago, mainly because what that does, hold on, I'm trying to find somebody real quick I can show y'all so I can add them and show y'all exactly what I do. Let's do, some of these are businesses, the ones that I keep clicking on. The salon. So you do kind of have to look sometimes.
How do you like my drawing, Mommy?
Your drawing looks really good, Ryan. Okay. Okay, so you kind of have to look because some people look like they are already in a business, which you can add people that are in a business. There's nothing wrong with that. But for instance, I'm on this girl's page, okay? And so I will like a few of her photos, and then I'll scroll all the way down. Like, I am a creeper. I don't care. I will scroll all the way down, and I will like and comment on some of these photos down here. And so what that does, I'll follow, if I like the person, I will follow them, and I comment on several of their stuff from like 2014. I don't even care. I don't even know if Instagram was around in 2014. But literally, I'll go that far back. And what that does is because when they look at those notifications, they're like, why the heck is this person liking my stuff from 2014? Who is that? And then what do? They click my profile. They go to my account and they look at all my stuff. And then more than likely, if your profile is clean, I did an Instagram training, so if you need that, if your profile is clean, they will follow you back. Now, here's the perks of being private. My account's public, but here's the perks of being private. With it being private, they're not even going to know what you do. So if you go through and you like someone's photos and comment on them from 2014, more than likely, they're going to send a request back to follow you, and boom, you're connected. And as long as you engage with them and they engage back with you, you're going to keep that connection. And that's why you're following, like, people who follow you, your number will get higher because you have good engagement. You engage with other people. If you want engagement, you have to give it back. And so that's how I add people on Instagram. Another way, if you are not comfortable with using hashtags, I will go to somebody in my newsfeed. Just go to your newsfeed, like on Instagram. And okay, let's say, let me find a picture that has a lot of likes that was recently posted. Hold on one second. There's lots of pictures of babies on here. My goodness. Okay, let's just use this girl's, okay? So this girl posted a photo 4 hours ago. She's got 41 likes, not bad. And so what I would do is I would click on all the people that liked her photo, okay? And so it pulls up all the people that liked her photo. Now, what I'm going to do, again, remember, I only add 5 to 10 people a day, so this should not take that long. I go through and I'm like, Mary Jackson, let me click on hers. Okay, look, her account is private. So if I like her bio, it seems clean, she's got a clean picture, I'm probably going to send her a friend request. So I click the follow. Okay? A question mark? Let me see. Like this. And so I just do that for 5 or 10 people. Now, if I click on someone's that's public, let's see. Man, a lot of these people are private. So, okay, well, every single one that I'm clicking on is private. But see, like, look, I followed 3 people from this girl's post. I'm basically taprooting into her network. Here's the thing, though, too. I also, like, this is important. So let's say that this girl right here, let's say if I clicked on her profile and it was tons of drugs and alcohol, things I wouldn't want to recruit into my business. I'm probably not going to add from people who liked her photo. I actually should probably unfollow somebody like that. Yeah, I should actually probably unfollow somebody like that. So think about that too. If you're adding from someone else's network that isn't positive to begin with, more than likely you're not going to have positive results from them either. So make sure if you're adding from someone's picture or their page to connect with their friends, more than likely, like they're going to be kind of similar to them, like as far as like behaviors. If they're liking somebody's picture that's doing like a beer bong or something like that, more than likely the apple doesn't fall far from the tree if they're liking that photo. So just think about the people that you're adding. Don't mass add. 5 or 10 a day is good, and make sure you're connecting with them and you're commenting on their stuff. So that's how I add on Facebook and Instagram. So far, self-development, gratitude, wishing people a happy birthday, getting active on your stories, and adding to your network. Those are 5 things that you need to have done. Now, replying to other people's stories is the next thing that you need to be doing. And I will set a timer roughly for about 10 minutes. So 10 minutes on Instagram and then 10 minutes on Facebook. Again, like, you could sit here and you could do this all day long, but you don't need to be glued to your phone to run your business successfully. That's why if you just set timers for times that you're doing these things, think about it. Like, have you ever just sat here? Like, I'm on Instagram right now. Have you ever just sat here and scrolled just like this? Just scrolled with nothing. You just kind of like people's photos and you just scroll. That's not going to pay your bills. That scrolling and liking people's pictures is not going to pay you anything. So use your time intentionally. Set timers. And if you're not working your business, then don't be on social media. Like, what is the point, honestly? Like, social media is great, but like, it's also very draining. And so use your time wisely on it. So what I do when I get into people's stories, I'll set a timer for 10 minutes. And then again, your stories are up here, okay? Now, another thing, I will scroll all the way to the left. And why this is important is because the people all the way at the end, these are the people that you interact with least. Okay? That means homegirl's getting it. These are the people that you interact with the least, okay? And so I still want to connect with them. I'm probably not seeing their stuff on my page. So I click their stuff. And do you see the little send message thing right here at the bottom? Right here? If I click that allows me to reply to her story. When I reply to her story, that gets me into her DMs. And what I mean by DMs is, let me see right here. Okay, Amy actually responded to one of my stories earlier, so I'll use her as an example. So she replied to my story. This was on my wall earlier. She replied to my story, and then I responded. But you see, she's in my inbox. Okay, do you see the significance of this? We are literally now having a connection without being creepy in our inbox. Again, what did I say? Money is made in Messenger. Money is made in your DMs, okay? So that is the significance of responding to people's stories through here. Now, if I am looking at someone's stories and I don't have any like, so for instance this, like if I don't have anything to like say, I'm not going to force myself to like say something to somebody. Like, okay, and for instance, like, I'm going to reply to this girl's story because I'm going to reply to this girl's story because this is really freaking cute. But like, these do not count as replying to other people's stories. These do not cultivate a connection, okay? Leave a comment. So I'm just going to say, oh my gosh, this is probably the cutest thing I've seen all day. Look at those eyes. And then I'll do the emoji like this. And so I'm going to respond to that girl's thing, and I'm going to send that. And I'm not talking to them about the business. I'm not replying to their stories about the business at all. I'm literally just creating relationships. All I'm doing when I'm talking in people's stories, like replying to their stories, I'm just dropping little seeds that I can harvest later. I never, ever, ever bring up the business opportunity unless there's something that's like they're asking for that connection of some sort in their story. Like if they're like, could somebody please hit me up about a job, or I just got done with my third job. Like, how is this ever going to end? I would literally swipe up. And the cool thing is also is let's say I was going to respond to this person's. The cool thing is also is, oh, you can't do it on that. Okay. Well, I can't do it. But normally, like when you're actually in somebody's inbox or whatever, one second. When you're actually in someone's inbox, you can actually voice memo them. Okay? And so I like to voice memo people. I guess it doesn't let you voice memo people like right off the bat, like when you're responding to their story. But like that also is an extra way to connect with people when they can actually hear your voice. Like, so for instance, let's just say like hypothetically, I mean, I'll send an emoji just like kind of get into her inbox. That doesn't count as connecting. But let's say that they were talking about something that I'm constantly reacting to this girl's story, but she's probably like, who's this girl? I'm constantly like reacting to hers. But if she said something that was like, oh my God, I need another job, like blah, 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 I could send an emoji and then I could be like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm literally recording a voice memo right now. And it could be about the business. It could be like whatever, but that's another thing that's really cool. And then you can also unsend stuff too. And so if you don't like it, you just unsend it. It's no big deal, but that's really important. So, I do 10 minutes of interacting with other people's stories on Instagram, 10 minutes of interacting with other people's stories on Facebook. And then so after that, you connect with people on their news feed. And so this is where you have to avoid getting stuck in the scroll. Set a timer, okay? So I go through and I comment on the pictures that like I feel like I can connect with. Like, so for instance, this is cute. She's got silly string out. I'll just say, oh my gosh, how cute. Oh my gosh, how cute. Y'all are totally making the most out of this quarantine. Laughing face. But I don't just say something cliche like, oh my God, your baby is so cute. Like, okay, so we're like 500 other thousand babies. Like, who cares? Like, you're not going to stand out. Like, say something that catches people's attention. You don't have to, you're better off leaving 3 good, solid comments than 30, like, just random freaking comments that people aren't even going to remember that, like, you posted on their thing in the first place. So, be genuine. The more genuine and authentic you are, the better connections that you're going to make. So I do that on Instagram and I do that on Facebook. Don't just go through and like people's stuff. That doesn't count. Leave comments. Connect with them. So again, self-development, do your gratitude, wish everyone a happy birthday, get active on your stories, add to your network, reply to other people's stories, and connect on your newsfeed. And those are the things that I recommend doing. And then also make sure by the end of the day you answer all your messages and inbox. Make sure everything's cleaned out, and so you can go into the next day and your messenger's clean. You've answered everything that you possibly can. So those are just my basic things I do every single day. I hope that helps everybody. So if you're new, feel free to reach out to the person that enrolled you. Feel free to reach out to me. Plenty tips and tricks. Oh, one last thing. When you're connecting with people on your newsfeed on Instagram, this is what I love doing. Click on the people that you're following, okay? So if I click on the people that I'm following, and again, this is for connecting with them on their actual newsfeed. Do you see this little arrow right here? I can click that arrow, and I can connect with the people that I followed the latest. So people I've recently followed, I can click that and watch it. Give it a second. It is going to reorder Did it already do it? I can't tell because I kind of got lost. It reorders everybody. And so the people that I just recently started following, they're going to switch to the top. Yeah, see? Sorted by date followed latest. So when I connect with people on my newsfeed on Instagram, I will connect with these people first. That's weird. I wouldn't follow that person. I don't know how that happens. Anyway, I can connect with these people first. And that way, again, I'm creating that relationship and I'm not just mindlessly scrolling through Instagram. And again, you just do that through that little thing right there. And you do it by clicking on your following, like who you're following. So anyway, I hope that helps. Any questions, just reach out.